Welcome by Mitch Talks. 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 Hey everyone. Welcome to the first video of Awake Aware with Mitch. Today I'm gonna go into a topic that is very personal, but also something that helped me when I was struggling with all those signs and all those experiences. Today's video. We're gonna go into 7 signs of awakening, of spiritual awakening. What is that actually? And is it something that is happening in your life lately with yourself? So we're going to go into those 7 signs and hopefully it will help you figure out if you are on the same path or maybe recognizing 1 or 2 of those signs. So let's get into it. When we talk about spiritual awakening, it's actually the awakening of your inner self, of your higher self. So who you are potentially, authentically, like your true self. It always starts with opening up the heart center. For everyone, that happens on a different moment. You can be 18, you can be around your 30s, or even 80 years old when you start opening up your heart center and discovering more about life, about the universe. If you're experiencing none of those signs, or maybe 1 or maybe all 7, it's all fine. Everyone is on their own path. And then see this video as something you can educate yourself with. So everything is fine, and let's get into it. And remember, it's an adventure. Sign 1. One of the first signs is that you can enjoy smaller details in life. And that reflects on so many topics. It can be music, it can be a movie, but also like strolling through nature and seeing the beauty of it. All that has to do with what the earth, what life has to offer, like our universe. So it's in those smaller details, that different awareness. You see more than you saw before. You can enjoy different things. You feel it more vibrant. Sign 2. Second thing has to do with energy. Everything in the world is energy. We, our thoughts, our emotions. So we talk a lot about good vibes and bad vibes. And all of a sudden that is very clear to you. You can sense when someone is having bad vibes, and you can feel also when someone is having good vibes. So what we mean, or what I mean with bad vibes, is that people are vibrating at a lower frequency. So their thoughts, their emotions are much more negative and much more heavy. So you can feel the difference between energetic, positive, or low energy and negative. And that's the thing, right? When we get more awareness about the energy that we are like seeing and feeling, then we can make clear decisions about, do I want that person in my life? Is it better to let them go? Is it better to give them a little bit more space? All those things are making more sense to you. Sign 3. Maybe you think a lot about the past, or maybe you think a lot about the future. But one of the signs as well is that you feel more connected to the here and now, right now. And we call that the present. When you have a spiritual awakening, the present is much more important to you. So it doesn't really matter what happened in your past. It doesn't really matter what's going to happen in your future. All we have is now. So you want to live in the now and really be present. Sign 4. All of a sudden you feel much more empathy for the world, and you feel much more compassion to everything that is happening around you. That can be like the sadness of the world, but also something that is happening with a friend of yours. You get much more involved into feeling more emotional, but also some way responsible for other people, or there's so much more like layers to it. It's not only about like yourself, it's more about the world, about your group of friends, your inner circle. A funny story about how I experienced that sign of having more empathy. So you know those animals videos on Facebook, right? Like when I saw like a sad one, all of a sudden I started crying, crying, crying. And I thought, oh, this is just like one video. But for over 6 years, every video, positive or sad, or happy or sad, I have to cry like a little baby. So everyone is experiencing a different form of empathy, and this was really a clear sign to me. Sign 5. You develop more a sense of feeling of intuition and of a gut feeling. And that's getting stronger and stronger. So you get more signs like you should go in that direction, this doesn't feel good, should I do this? All those little questions arising into your head, into that gut feeling, are telling you something. And when that happens, it's actually also a sign of a spiritual awakening. That means that you are vibrating higher and picking up more. And this goes hand in hand with wanting to connect with yourself, to really be yourself and dig a little bit deeper into your past, into your insecurities, and really start to understand who you are. But most of all, the awareness that you are the only person that can make yourself happy. No one else can do that for you. You have to do it yourself. Sign 6. You get a feeling that you want to give back to the world. So that hasn't doesn't have anything to do with if I do something, I get something in return. This is selfless. So this is really about what can I do for the earth? What can I do back for my community? What can I do for my friend, for my family member? It all has to do with giving and want to create a positive impact on the world. It can be so small, it can be super big, but all those like little feelings about doing good is a big sign. Sign 7. And the last sign I'm gonna discuss today in this video is wanting and having the urge to live authentically. So we all have a story, and sometimes we deny that story, or we don't want to look back in those like darkest moments, or maybe you're afraid to go back to a specific experience or a trauma, or maybe a mistake you had you can't face again because it's too painful. Authentically means that you embrace everything that you are, your full story, everything has its part on becoming you. You in your truest form, in your highest self. That is authentic. Being the real you, just the way you are. The last thing I want to discuss is that overall it has to do with your well-being, with yourself, right? So it's not like moved by the ego, it's moved by a different understanding and a different awareness. Although it is all very positive what you can feel, it is also challenging because some things you knew, something you were comfortable with, maybe a friend, it is all changing. Your perspective is changing, and that is hard. Also experience physical problems or like pains. I'm talking about headaches, or maybe like energy going into your stomach. Maybe you have a hard time falling asleep, or maybe having a hard time waking up. It is also possible that you feel tired over like a longer period, like for a week. So make sure to be kind to yourself and really tune into your body and into your mind, and then everything will be fine. Just trust the flow and the experiencing and the awakening, and see if you can enjoy this experience with a smile on your face and as a little adventure. I am really curious to know if you have one of those signs. Maybe you have them all. Maybe you are somewhere starting. It's all super excited because you have so many new experiences, and like you can feel like something is changing. And I think in that way, even if you are at the beginning or at the end, that feeling of being alive and exploring new things is one of the biggest treasures you should embrace. So whatever you are, and just make sure that you be kind to yourself, and hopefully this video helped you with understanding with what is happening. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and maybe hit that subscribe button so you can see when my next video will drop. If you have any questions, again, you can reach out on my Instagram. I will put it in the details down under this video. I wish you a wonderful evening and stay tuned for upcoming videos.